Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and today we are going to be talking about how to build your power team to get started in real estate investing. Okay, so a lot of people want to start investing in real estate. They want to either fix and flip houses, they may want to buy rental properties, they may want to do a strategy that's called wholesaling. They may want to buy some duplexes, fourplexes, apartment buildings, whatever it may be. You've got a dream to be able to pursue real estate investing. Maybe quit your 9 to 5. Maybe look for a side income because you love what you do already, but you know that it's a good idea to put your money into real estate. But now the question is, who do you call? How do you start? And today we're going to go through that, because if you have a proper power team in place, these are the individuals who are going to help you through your real estate investing career, through your real estate investing ventures, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to advise you on different ways to consider looking at a property. See, so at the end of the day, it's going to be your decision on how you want to pursue a particular project, a particular investment. But if you don't know what you don't know, sometimes you don't know there's options. You just think there's maybe one way to do this particular investment strategy, and there's only one strategy to do for this investment. But there could be a better way that you don't know about. And by having a good, solid power team, they give you the options that are available so that you can make that good decision, which is so important. Last week, we had a guest on our show by the name of Nate Lambert. And Nate talked about a property that he has right now as we speak, and we actually take a field trip. We took a field trip to that property right after the show ended. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the times that we have guests that come in, we'll do the radio show, and then after the radio show, we'll go do a field trip at one of their investment properties to kind of get an idea and see what it looks like, see basically the strategies they're implementing on these particular properties that they may have mentioned on the show. So if you're ever listening and you're more of a visual person as well as a person who likes to hear things, definitely go to our YouTube channel, which is Utah Home Sweet Home. So you just go to YouTube and search Utah Home Sweet Home. You'll find our logo. You'll click on that channel, and we have, I think last I looked, over almost 700 videos on there of information that would be super beneficial, super helpful for anyone who's looking to invest in real estate, or maybe started investing in real estate and just wants to take their game to the next level, because we've had some top-notch guests on the show who come share tons and tons of great content on that channel for as far as real estate investing, especially here locally. A lot of the guys that come onto the show are Utah-based. But going back to what I was saying is, we took a field trip with Nate to his house that he's got in Murray. And here's what was so cool about that particular property. One, he purchased the property with what's called a hard money loan. Okay, so a hard money lender comes in, they don't base the loan on you. Okay, so if you're listening right now and you think, man, I have terrible credit, got terrible income, I'm not somebody who's going to be able to get a loan very easily, I tried already once, it got rejected, that stuff doesn't matter, because hard money lenders will give you a loan based off of the property. How good of a deal did you get on that property? Did you get a deal undervalued relative to what the market is? Because here's the reality. A hard money lender, if the deal is good, if you lock that property under contract at a really exceptional price, they're going to loan you the money to purchase that house, fix that house, whatever it is to do that house, because they know that if you don't pay them back, they can just foreclose on you, which they don't want to do. Just to be clear, hard money lenders don't want to foreclose. That's not their model. But they could. That's their insurance. That's their safety net. If they give you the money knowing that you can't pay them back necessarily because you don't have good credit or a job, and let's just say you don't, and this is a fix and flip, and the hard money loan is for 6 months. Typically they are for about 6 months. And at month 6 rolls around and you've decided that you're not going to flip the house, you're going to keep it, you're going to not pay the hard money lender back, well then he can just go through the legal process of foreclosure and get the house back, and then hypothetically even make more money because now he owns the home. Again, that's not what a hard money lender wants to do. They want to loan you the money and you go and execute the strategy that you want to execute, and then you pay them back, and they go and loan that money over and over, and that's how most investors will fix and flip houses, myself included. I use hard money all the time. So in this particular example, Nate Lambert went and got a hard money loan where some guy gave him a loan for the property, okay, to buy it. This is really, really cool, so pay attention. None of Nate's money. Then he went and borrowed a second hard money loan from somebody else, right, to remodel the home. So he bought this house undervalued. It was rough around the edges, needed a lot of renovation, and so he got a hard money loan to buy it. Then he went and got a second hard money loan from a different hard money lender that he used to fix up the property. So now the property looks really nice. You can go check out the video. Nate explains this on the video, and you can see visually how the home looks today, and it's pretty much rent ready. None of Nate's money again. On the second loan, it's a different lender. Well, now Nate can turn around and flip it and basically get a profit and use none of his own money, hypothetically, because he's borrowed it to, or he's going to, in this particular case, refinance out of the hard money loans to pay those guys back and get a traditional 30-year mortgage. But here's what's really cool. He has what's called a credit partner, and this credit partner happens to be out of Colorado. So some individual in Colorado, I don't know who it is, and so we'll call this investor, Mr. or Mrs. Investor out of Colorado, is now going to basically leverage their ability to get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and they're going to refinance out of the 2 hard money loans into this 30-year fixed mortgage, and now they'll own that property together. And again, none of Nate's money, none of Nate's credit, none of Nate's ability to bring in an income. I mean, you hear these different advertisements, you don't need money, you don't need credit to invest in real estate. Yes, it is absolutely true. You got to know how to do it though, and you got to have the right power team to be able to implement this stuff. Not everybody out there who loans money knows how to implement this. Not every loan officer, not every real estate agent, not every insurance agent, not every real estate attorney understands the concepts of these particular strategies to be able to help you. So you got to find the right power team of people who can help guide you through this process. As let's just say you want to get your very first rental property, and your buddy who has a nice job, a nice credit score, can get a loan. You can't, but he can. And you want to leverage that ability to partner up and use their credit to get a loan. Now you just need to find an undervalued property, hard money lender, a second hard money lender. Hypothetically, these people are out there. You just need to know how to find them. And once you do, you can start implementing these types of strategies that we got to see this field trip. I basically will do the same kind of concept over and over with, very similar to Nate, except I tend to fix and flip houses more than I tend to refinance out of the loans. I like to go and borrow a hard money loan to buy the property, get a second hard money loan to fix it up, and then I turn around and flip it. Just like the TV shows, Flip This House, all those shows that you see on television where you buy another house, fix it up, and flip it. I use none of my own money to do that, right? I don't hypothetically even need money. If today somebody came and stole all of my money, I'd still go flip a house tomorrow because I have the power team and connections to be able to leverage other people's money to be able to turn around and make my return infinite because I've got no money invested. So if you have no money invested, your return is infinite. Make an infinite return on fixing and flipping houses. Very similar to just how a lot of investors do what Nate did in our house tour last week. So again, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, definitely go to our YouTube channel, check that out. We've got so much good content. As far as if you are thinking about real estate education, right? You can go out there and there's tons of courses, which are, many of them are great, and I don't know all of them, so I'm sure there's some that are not as good as others. But There's also a lot of free content on the internet, and Utah Home Sweet Home's YouTube channel is one of the channels that provides tons of free content. We've got tons of interviews that we do on this show with individuals that are high-performing investors here in the state of Utah. We invite guests that are top-notch, killing it in their particular field, and they share lots of wisdom on how to do this stuff. So let's dive into this particular topic of building a power team. So first thing is you're probably going to need, there's going to be a handful of people that you're going to need right off the bat. Your power team will grow over time. It's going to get bigger and bigger, but you're going to need a investor-friendly realtor, a realtor that understands what you're trying to do, and a realtor, whether you're trying to purchase undervalued property that you can get for a discount, that you can get a hard money lender to loan you money on, 100% financed because you don't have an income or good credit. You're going to need to have a realtor who understands this game and is on your team, because if a real estate agent knows your situation, let's say you don't have a job, your credit score is horrible, they're going to say, how can you possibly buy a house? I don't know if I want to spend time working with you as a real estate agent, because it seems like it might be a waste of time. And if they don't know what you're trying to implement, yes, it definitely could be a waste of time. However, if they know that you're going to buy this house, fix it up, turn around and flip it, then they'll get the listing when you go to turn around and flip it, then obviously it's not going to be a waste of time at all. And so it's very important to have a real estate agent who's going to be on the same page as you. I've seen a lot of newer investors, they'll use a real estate agent and tell them, listen, I'm going to start flipping houses, I'm going to buy the property, we're going to turn around, fix it up, and turn around and sell it. And they get the real estate agent on board, but it takes longer than that investor thought it would to do their first deal. It takes them 6, 7, 8 months to find their first property. They've submitted a ton of offers. They've used their real estate agent to help them do that on a lot of the deals, a lot of the offers. And that real estate agent gets burnt out. And basically what ends up happening is that real estate agent decides they don't want to work with that investor anymore. And then what happens is, I've seen this time and time again, where the investor finally gets some momentum going and ends up doing a deal and a second deal and a third deal, and they start flipping houses regularly for a living, and had that real estate agent stuck through all of that. I got buddies that are flipping 20 to 40 houses a year. I mean, think about being that listing agent. That's a lot of transactions coming down your pipeline if you work with individuals like this. So you got to go out and find a realtor. You're going to need a hard money lender. Again, this is not your typical lender. This is not Zions Bank. This is not Bank of America. This is not your loan officer over at Citywide or Intercap Lending or anything like that. Hard money lenders are a little bit different. But you will then need a loan officer like the guys at Citywide, like the guys at Zions Bank, like the guys at Intercap. You're probably, if you're just starting out, going to need a home inspector as well to help you kind of understand, the nuts and bolts of a home. I mean, we've all lived in houses, we grew up in houses, but what's behind the wall sometimes may be a mystery for a lot of people, where the ductwork goes, where the insulation goes, where the wiring goes, where the plumbing goes. So an inspector is going to be useful if you're purchasing a home to kind of help you understand what you're potentially trying to buy. Of course, you're going to need some contractors, going to need some attorneys, real estate attorneys, insurance agents, and then partners, right? Getting people involved, like we talked about, in our example earlier, Nate Lambert, leveraging a credit partner out of Colorado, right? Just leveraging partners to be able to go out and do larger volume. Now, the reality is, in the perfect world, if you could find a power team of all these individuals, in my personal opinion, the best people to hire or bring on as far as your power team are people who also do what you do as far as real estate investing. Okay, if you've got an insurance agent who has a lot of rental properties, then he's probably researched which policies are going to be the best based off of his experiences of owning rental properties, so he can recommend that best policy to you. If you've got a real estate attorney who's got a bunch of rentals or flips houses, based off of his own experience of needing to protect himself, he probably has a lot of good wisdom he could share with you. If you've got a real estate agent who fixes and flips houses, a lender who fixes and flips houses, buys rental properties, etc., inspectors, contractors, all these people also invest in real estate. They have personal experience that they've adapted to, altered, pivoted to make their business better, that they could shortcut this process for you. So a great way to find these individuals as your, or I should say a great way to narrow down who you want to work with as far as these individuals when you're building your power team is to ask them if they invest themselves, right? Now, that doesn't mean if they don't, they're going to not be a great fit, but if they do, it could definitely be a bonus. So, I would say, we're going to pretend that if I just picked up and moved out of Salt Lake City to Los Angeles, right? If I just picked up today and moved to Los Angeles, and I was going to continue being a real estate investor, I was going to still fix and flip houses, I was still going to buy rental properties. Mind you, I'm picking a market that's double the double the price here of Utah. I mean, they're way more expensive, so it's going to cost more to buy these investment properties. I'm not picking a market where it's less expensive. And even if I did, the concepts and principles are going to be the same. But let's just say I picked up and moved to Los Angeles today, and now I want to start investing, fixing and flipping houses in LA. Figure out opportunities on how I can buy investment properties, probably going to leverage a lot of partners. How would I go about starting to do this? The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the real estate investing associations in that market, in Los Angeles. Okay, here in Salt Lake, we have 3 that are predominant real estate investing associations here in the Salt Lake area. There's a 4th, but they're a little bit smaller, and I haven't seen a lot of activity from that association, so we're going to stick with 3. There are 3 real estate investing associations here that have a large number of memberships that show up every month to these real estate investing association meetings. And at these real estate investing association meetings, there are a lot of guys who invest in real estate, hence the real estate investing associations. And there are people that invest there as real estate agents, there are people that invest there as hard money lenders, there are people there that are insurance agents, there are contractors there, loan officers. I mean, you could literally build your power team. Real estate attorneys, you could almost literally build your power team by just attending these real estate investing associations. In fact, you probably could build your entire power team if you attended all 3 regularly for an entire year, okay? Because that attorney who goes there regularly might not be there this month's meeting, but will show up the next 11, and he just happens to be on vacation. So if you were consistent, if I was consistent, Los Angeles probably has more than 3 because it's just a bigger city. But if I moved to Los Angeles, I'd find them all, and let's just say there's 5 of them. I would attend all 5 of those associations' monthly meetings for an entire year. Do you know how many people I would meet? I would have the opportunity to meet, to be able to see who does what. I would find the big time investors as well, because a lot of the big time investors attend these associations, and those are the people that I want to network with, right? You can learn certain things from those individuals if they're willing to share to some capacity. You could ask them who they borrow their hard money from. You could hypothetically partner with them on deals. I mean, there's a lot that can go on. But let's just say here in Salt Lake, we've got 3. So they each meet once a month. So that would be 3 times a month. You would go to 3 association meetings a month. Now, they also have luncheons. So if you wanted to, and I'd highly suggest this, if I was literally moving to Los Angeles today and I needed to turn on my income machine, because the minute I moved away from Utah, my income would be hurt dramatically unless I stayed focused in here. But let's just say I'm going to turn this machine off and turn on a new one in Los Angeles. I would also attend the luncheons, right? So hypothetically, that gives you 6 opportunities a month. 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening throughout the month, different weeks. And here in Salt Lake, they do really good. The 3 associations do a really good job to make sure their meetings are not even the same week. So you would never even have to go to 2 in a single week here in Utah. You they've spaced it out so there's only one per week, and then there's 1 week that, of course, there's nothing because there's only 3, not 4. So you would be able to start going to these nightly meetings and these luncheons and start meeting these individuals. That would give you an entire year of finding different people, asking people who they use for their contracting needs, who they use for their insurance needs, who they use for their legal needs, who they use for their lending, hard money, whatever needs. And it also gives you an opportunity to start finding partners, because a lot of the investors that are at these associations have money, but they just sold their flip and now they need another deal to put their money into, and they don't have one, and that's a great opportunity to leverage a partner. Okay, so the very first thing that you're going to want to do is go into Google and search real estate investing associations in wherever you live. In this particular case, we're here in Salt Lake, so I put Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Associations. And if you're listening, I'm going to shortcut this search for you. There's what's called the Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association. The acronym that they use at this association is SLRIA, S-L-R-E-I-A. The RIA, you'll hear RIAs nationwide. Everybody says RIA, which is R-E-I-A. RIA stands for Real Estate Investing Association. So SLRIA is one of them, Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association. Then you have the Utah Real Estate Investing Association, basically the Utah RIA. Then you have what's called the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, often heard as UV-RIA. Okay, so you're going to get used to the name RIA and UV, SL, Utah, whatever it is in front of it. Those are the 3 here in Salt Lake that I attend personally. Now, I actually am the vice president of UV-RIA. I sit on the board of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. We meet in Pleasant Grove, and we're actually opening up a different branch here in Salt Lake. It's just the COVID has kind of deterred that plan of attack a little bit, since people aren't meeting in large groups yet. So we're going to have 2 divisions, one in Pleasant Grove, one in Salt Lake. The SLRIA, Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association, they meet here in Sandy. I think that's Sandy. Yeah, that's Sandy. They meet in Sandy. I know how to get there. I know how to. I was on the board of that one for 5 years. Just wanted to make sure it was Sandy. And then the Utah RIA meets in the same location in Sandy, and just so you guys know, it's the Larry H. Miller Community College campus, okay, in Sandy, right there on about 9800 South, and just west of the freeway, literally just west of the freeway. Like, there's the freeway, and then the front road right there on the freeway is the road that you pull into the community college. So 2 of the RIAs meet there, right there in Sandy. So you've got Pleasant, right now, actively, Pleasant Grove and Sandy would be the 2 locations that you'd have to visit 3 times a week. And you would start to find individuals there. Okay, so now, that's the greatest place, in my personal opinion, if you were going to pick up and move, if I was going to pick up and move to another city, how I would start to build my power team. Now, hard money lenders are very critical to your needs, obviously, as a real estate investor. We talked about you don't need money to invest in real estate, but obviously you need somebody's money. And you're going to need either Zions Bank, Bank of America, Chase's money, or you're going to need a hard money lender's money, or you're going to need a partner's money. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how to find these individuals as soon as we get back from a commercial break. So you're not going to want to go anywhere, because, again, if you've ever thought about investing in real estate and you're wondering, how the heck do I get the money? I hear these commercials, these ads on TV and radio saying you don't need any money to invest. Well, I'm going to share with you how to find these people's money.
Did you know that SnapLease is the most convenient lease in the world?
All right. Okay. So, what's that?
You're good at that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All
right. So we're taking a commercial break. Got a commercial here called the SnapLease.
Or maybe even
And for those of you who don't know,
the perfect leash for you.
the snap leash is actually my invention. I invented the snap leash. So if you are interested in seeing what the snap leash looks like, go to www.snapleash.com today. You can hear my voice in the background.
Having appearances on the Today Show.
We were on the Today Show. The snap leash was on the Today Show in New York City. It's been on Dallas, Texas TV, Salt Lake City TV. So go to snapleash.com, check it out. We're almost done with commercials, so we'll be right back here shortly.
Make life a little more convenient for you and your pup. And visit www.snapleash.com today.
All right, guys, we are back. This is K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I'm your host, Yoshi Shiraki. Today we are talking about building a power team and getting started in real estate investing. Finding the right people to be able to go out and implement really creative strategies, really, high caliber strategies that you see these investors execute, talk about at real estate investing meetings on YouTube, on Facebook. Last week we had again a guest who shared with us how he purchased a home, remodeled a home, and has a credit partner to refinance the hard money loan out of that home with none of this investor's money. He did this whole deal where he bought the house with a hard money loan, renovated the house with the hard money loan, and now he's got a credit partner out of Colorado who's going to refinance the hard money loan out. And that has given this investor the ability to be able to buy this house with no money down and none of his own credit, never had to show his credit score, never had to show his income. I mean, how cool is that? That is, obviously fantastic. That's a fantastic opportunity for people out there. And so we're talking about building this type of power team, and now we're going to talk about hard money lenders. So there's one way to find hard money lenders, which is what we just chatted about, going to the real estate investing associations. Off the top of my head, I can think of 5, 6 guys that I have met, 7. Just off the top of my head, it's probably more. Off the top of my head, I can think of 6 to 7 guys that I've met at these real estate investing associations. 8, another one just popped in my head. At these real estate investing associations that loan hard money, right? So people come to me. For those of you who've heard me say this on the show before, I happen to be a real estate educator where I travel the country, public speak on stage with other real estate educators where we teach this stuff, at seminars, at conventions. And a lot of these people at the seminars will come to me and say, how do I find hard money lenders? I've been looking, I Googled them, I've made a bunch of phone calls, it just kind of seems to, lead nowhere. And Google's another way, but in my personal opinion, the best way, in my personal opinion, is to meet someone face to face. Be able to talk to them, shake their hand, assuming we're not in COVID times, maybe give them elbows or something. But basically, go meet these individuals face to face, and I can think of 8 individuals that loan hard money that I've met through these real estate investing association meetings that we talked about. Another great way is to Google them. Hard money lenders in Salt Lake City, hard money lenders in wherever you live, whatever city you live in. And it's going to pull up a bunch of stuff. Now, here's the thing. When you Google anything for the very first time, you're going to just have to start calling these different companies, Google searching their reviews. You want to make sure you're dealing with people that are reputable in this hard money lending world. And there are some hard money lenders out there that have a very unforgiving contract when you sign a hard money loan with them, meaning that there's very little leniency. It might be a 6-month loan and there's no option in there to extend. What if your renovation bumps into some problems and now what you thought you would have fixed up and sold in 5-6 months or less is now taking you 8-9 months? Well, if you can't extend that hard money loan, then they foreclose on you and take that away, that investment away, and you've already dumped a bunch of money in there, maybe to fix it up. And so you want to make sure that you're dealing with people that are reputable, people that have, fair terms. And like anything, you want to shop those terms, right? So if somebody's charging you, let's say, 12% a month on hard money, which by the way is good, annualized, so that means it's 1% a month. So if somebody's charging you 12% for hard money is going to be more expensive than a conventional loan, just so you know. It's a short-term loan. It's only for 6 months typically. But it doesn't matter because you're still leveraging other people's money to make you a big profit. So hypothetically, if you're shopping out there and some hard money lender says, yeah, we charge 12%, and then you call another one and he's like, yeah, we charge 15%, and then call another one and they're like, yeah, we charge 23%, well, who do you think you're going to want to use? The guy who's charging you only 12% of interest versus the guy who's charging you 15 or 23, right? So you're also going to want to shop them around. As you're shopping these different hard money lenders, you're going to want to ask them what they charge for their money. Now, they're in the lending money game, so that's how they make their money. But you are also in the real estate investing game, and so you want to keep your expenses as low as possible. So Google's another great way, but again, you're just going to have to pick up the phone and start calling those leads that come up on Google and getting an understanding of who they are. Again, my favorite way is to go to the real estate investing associations. One, because you can find them there, but two, as you start to learn who the real estate investors are that are doing this regularly, full-time, for a living, and have been, you can ask them who they use, right? So for example, if a guest called the show right now and said, Yoshi, I want a hard money lender, who do you use? That's probably a better resource for you than Google, right? But again, if you don't have that opportunity, Google's a great resource. You're just going to have to do a little bit more homework. But if you met me, because I'm the vice president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, if you came down to our Real Estate Investing Association meeting, met up with me, and then asked me who should I use for hard money, I'd be able to tell you because that's who I use for hard money, right? I actually use a handful of different lenders for hard money. Depends on how many transactions I have going at the same time. Anyways, so I would say Google, real estate investing associations, and different investors. Start asking them who they use. Okay, so that's a great place to start finding hard money lenders. Again, these are the individuals that are going to base the loan off of the deal of the property, not your income, not your credit score. When you hear those advertisements saying you don't need an income, you don't need a credit score, this is what they're talking about most of the time. I mean, there's a lot of strategies that you don't need money. Seller financing is another one, owner financing, wholesaling. But this is one of those scenarios that they're talking about, okay? Now, let's assume that you're going to remodel this home to refinance to keep it, right? You don't want to keep the hard money loan in place for 30 years. It's typically only a 6-month loan anyway, and expensive. We just talked about how it's usually higher priced. Hard money loans are around 12%. Traditional conventional loans are, 3-4% depending, which is significantly cheaper at this moment when we're recording this show. So if you're going to flip the house, then no problem. Buy the home, remodel it, 12% hard money, turn around, flip it, pay the hard money lender back, keep the profit, all yours, never leveraged any of your own money, your return was infinite, no money down. But let's say you're going to invest in that property as a rental property because you're going to keep it. So now what happens is you buy the property hard money, you found a good discount, you then turn around and remodel it, and now you need to refinance into a traditional, less expensive interest rate loan. This is where you're going to need to find some good loan officers who can help you with that. Now, cheapest in this particular case is not always best, right? I know some loan officers out there. For example, we've had somebody on the guest who has almost 100 rental properties. He had over 100, but he's been liquidating since COVID's, showed its ugly head here in the world. He's been liquidating a lot of his investment properties so he could have cash to get ready for when real estate goes on sale. But he had over 100 properties. He's probably in the 90s still. But how do you go out and leverage so many loans, right? I mean, there's a cap on how many loans you can get. And so he's leveraged his cap there. He also does seller financing. He also does partnerships. But an individual like this who invests in real estate himself, who has 100+ doors, is a great loan officer to work with when you're looking to refinance out of your hard money loan and build your portfolio. Now, if you're looking to maybe just pick up one fourplex and call it a day and never buy another investment property for the rest of your life, maybe it's not as critical to find, in my opinion, the loan officer who's the best or one of the best out there. But if you're going to build a massive portfolio, then it's probably a good idea to have somebody out there who also has a massive portfolio. Okay, so loan officers, a great place to find these guys. Again, shortcutting it, not to keep saying the same answer, is the Real Estate Investing Association. Ironically, this individual who I'm talking about, who has approximately 100 investment properties, is the president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. I'm the vice president and he's the president, and he's been on this show many, many times. But if you are thinking, man, I need to find an individual who understands the game of building a rental portfolio and leveraging loans to be able to build that portfolio, then in my personal opinion, one of the best out there as far as investing in rental properties in the loan industry is Matt Atkinson, the president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. I'm sure there's other guys out there that are just as competent, just as good, maybe even have more doors, more investment properties. But as far as I know, and the person I like to work with, it happens to be Matt. So again, if you were heading to the real estate investing associations in your market, in particular Salt Lake, and you went to the Utah Valley one, you would definitely get to meet Matt and have him on your power team at some point. As far as inspectors, see, at the end of the day, the best way to build this team, again, is going back to the referral-based thing of asking other investors who they use, right? I don't typically get home inspections all the time anymore. I used to get a home inspection every single time on every property I bought. But a lot of properties I've bought over the years have been sight unseen. And if I can't go inside, for whatever reason, there's tons of reasons why I've not been able to get inside a property before I bought it, then it's hard to get an inspector inside, right? If you buy at the foreclosure auction, you're typically buying those sight unseen. And so if you can't get in, it's hard to get a home inspector in. But assuming you can get in, assuming you have that ability to get a home inspection, then you might want to start asking other real estate investors who they've used in the past as far as home inspectors. But inspectors are relatively easy to also find on Google, right? You can just Google home inspection companies. And if I had to start from scratch, again, if I moved out to Los Angeles, had to start from scratch, personally, I would probably feel more comfortable if I went to Google, pulled up a search, hiring the national big-named companies. The home inspectors that have a big presence, they're a franchise or whatever, they're typically going to play by better rules in that they're going to have higher standards, higher certifications. I don't know about California, but ironically here in the state of Utah, there is no required certification, qualification that a home inspector needs to become a home inspector, right? A real estate agent has to go to real estate agent school. A doctor has to go to medical school. Cosmetologist has to go to cosmetology school. A home inspector here in the state of Utah can literally, anyone listening right now could decide they want to be a home inspector, start a website, and start posting social media ads to market themselves. And you, whoever you are listening right now, could call yourself a home inspector right now because there's no required certification that one needs. So it can be a little bit scary that you could hire some guy who is struggling in his other career and decides he's going to have a side hustle and decides to be a home inspector because he hears that you don't have to have any qualifications, starts a website, makes some social media posts, and you call him up and he's your first inspection. He knows nothing about houses. That might not be the best inspector you want to hire. And so if I was to pick up and move to another city, I'm going to usually call the bigger companies that play by better rules because there are certifications that you can go out and get. They're just not required. And these bigger companies typically send their inspectors to go get those certifications so that when you hire these individuals, you're getting somebody that at least knows the ins and outs of a house, right? Or a building or whatever it is that you're investing in. So again, Google search these if you're needing to find an inspector, Google search it, but then kind of stick to the guys that are bigger players, bigger national companies, if possible. And again, like I said before, I'll keep saying this: the best way is to find some investors who are also doing it and just ask them who they use. Now let's talk about real estate attorneys here. We've got a real estate attorney who's on the board of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association by the name of Jeff Brailio. Jeff's a really good friend of mine. He's also been on the show numerous times, sharing different things about real estate law, but most recent, the legal aspects of what's been happening with COVID due to people not being able to pay their rent or pay their mortgage, whether you're a tenant or a landlord, whether you're a homeowner and you've lost your job due to the COVID and you can't pay. Jeff's been in here on the show to kind of share what people's rights are as far as whether you're on one side of the fence or the other, whether you're the lender or whether you're the borrower, whether you're the landlord, whether you're the tenant. And what I like about Jeff is Jeff also flips real estate. He fixes and flips houses. Jeff also invests in rental properties. Jeff also invests in commercial real estate. So here's a real estate attorney who knows the ins and outs of the real estate game as an investor, who also happens to be an attorney. So in my personal opinion, we talked about that earlier, best power team, in my personal opinion, to build are people who also invest. So attorneys, where are you going to find these attorneys? Well, there's Google again. Real estate attorneys is probably what you'd want to Google in your particular area. But again, going back to that Real Estate Investing Association, that's why I started there, because if you would go to the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, the Utah RIA, or the SLO RIA, Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association, Jeff's actually affiliated with all three, believe it or not. You would meet someone like Jeff. Well, if you went to all three of those, you'd meet Jeff. But there's other real estate investing associations out there in different states, different cities that are going to also have somebody like a Jeff. And that's going to be the best place to find a real estate attorney, in my personal opinion. Or, again, asking other investors that you end up meeting and getting to know at these real estate investing associations who they use and as their attorney, and then kind of narrowing it down, right? Referrals, again, by people that are successful in this industry as far as real estate, we're talking about real estate, is probably going to be your best resource. But again, if I just moved to Los Angeles, didn't know anybody, again, I'm going to head over to those real estate investing associations and I'm going to jump on Google and do a lot of researches. Okay, so when we come back, we are going to talk about partners, how to find partners, because guys, partners are going to be able to help you take your investing portfolio to the next level. There's only so much that one individual is capable of purchasing as far as leveraging, financing, but if you can find partners, you can grow your business dramatically. So you're not going to want to go anywhere, because we're going to discuss how to find these individuals that are going to want to grow their business with you. So stay tuned. All right, so here's the situation.
Hi, I'm Yoshi Shiraki.
There's my voice again.
The book, My Body's Just for Me.
I'm also an author, not only just an inventor of the snap leash, but I'm the author of the book, children's book called My Body's Just for Me, which is a book that educates kids on the prevention of sexual abuse. So, if you want to break the ice, as I just said on the commercial, in an easy and simple way, definitely check out protectourangels.com to check out this book. Just again, another commercial break here on the show.
And also to discuss how the book My Body's Just for Me is a great tool for every parent when having that tricky conversation with their children. For more information on the book My Body's Just for Me, please visit www.protectourangels.com today. And remember, the more we focus on prevention, the less
commercial's over.
Focus on rehabilitation.
All right, guys, we are back. This is K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki. And today we're going to be talking about building a power team. But before we jump into the next topic of power team members, which is partners, and by the way, guys, there's a lot more people than I had time to share on this show. But before we jump into partners, if you've missed any part of the show, you can go to our website, www.utahhomesweethome.com. And scroll down to the bottom of any of the pages on our website and you're going to see social media links on there. And if you click on YouTube, you'll be able to see every show we've ever done. We have recorded, filmed every single show we've ever done. And so if you're a visual person, you prefer to watch the videos, or if you're, just somebody who likes to push play and stick the phone in your pocket and listen to it as you're driving or whatever it may be, you're going to be able to hear all sorts of great content on our channel, as I talked about. In my personal opinion, based off of all of the guests, we've had some all-stars on our show, some big-time real estate investing players here in the state of Utah on our show, discussing topics about investing. If one was to spend the time to watch every single video on our channel, real estate related, some of the videos are restaurant reviews. Just so you know, we go and review restaurants, so we can share with you guys, good places to eat. Maybe you're new to Utah and don't know where to eat. Maybe you just stuck to your bubble and eat at the same place over and over and you want to venture out. We do restaurant reviews. We do field trip Fridays, just ideas on what to do, with your kids, stuff like that. But real estate related, if you went and watched every single real estate related video on our channel, I bet that you would be able to invest in your first property if you haven't already. There has been so much phenomenal content shared on our channel from myself, from all the guests, on tips and secrets and all of this amazing stuff, that if you truly took notes, went through it all, listened to it, you'd probably be able to have enough education to get started and invest in your first deal. So definitely check out UtahHomesweetHome.com. Like I said, go down to the very bottom, click on YouTube. We've got so many other cool videos on there too. We tour $1 Million homes, which is really, really fun. We've got a segment called $1 Million Home Sweet Home, where we tour multi-million-dollar homes here in the state of Utah. Obviously, it has to be a pretty home, has to be $1 million home, and it has to be here in Utah. So kind of a cool thing to be able to see how Utah $1 million homes look like here in our state. And we go from Park City to Heber to Salt Lake City to Sandy to, there's $1 million homes all throughout the state, of course. And so we don't just stick to one particular area. So really, really cool. We've got those videos on there as well. But where I'm going with this is definitely check out our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. We do our best to try and answer those questions in the comment section. Might not be immediate, but if you've got a question based off of something you saw in a video, then definitely leave a question and we'll get back to you. And again, we're here to help you. So, but let's get back to partners. Okay, so how do we find partners? Well, here's the thing. Partners are everywhere, right? Again, going back, that's why I started with it. Great place to find partners is the Real Estate Investing Association. Why? Because everybody at the Real Estate Investing Association wants to invest in real estate, or they wouldn't be at the Real Estate Investing Association. You don't go to a Real Estate Investing Association, once a month if you have no desire or interest in wanting to invest in real estate. You go there because that's what you want to do, right? You don't go to a basketball court once a week to play basketball if you hate basketball. If you want to go find people to play basketball with, head on over to a basketball court, and there are probably people there who want to play basketball. Same concept. By going to the Real Estate Investing Associations, you're going to find people who want to invest in real estate, and maybe some of them are in the same situation as other people in that they don't have a lot of capital, a lot of funds, and so they can partner up with one another, merge their income, merge their capital, and be able to buy investment properties. So great place to find them, whether you're going to flip, whether you're going to buy long term. Another place, of course, is just everybody and anybody that you know. It just depends on how bad do you want this, right? Do you want to, go to a real estate investing association, find a stranger that you don't even know and invest in a property with them that is now going to be like a marriage, and then 6 months into it you realize, oh my gosh, what did I do? I have the worst business partner in the world. He's so controlling, he's so demanding, he's so bossy, and now it's an unhappy marriage. Or do you prefer to go find a partner who's your best friend, right? Or somebody like a colleague that you work with, or somebody that you already know that you get along with. That might be a better situation. Although that person might not want to invest in real estate. That could be the hiccup. But hypothetically, where I'm going with this is if you start just sharing with everybody that you're looking to start purchasing long-term buy and hold or fix and flip houses, you just start putting it out there. Just like if you were to start telling people that you want to start playing basketball or you want to start getting in shape, so you joined a gym or whatever it is that you want to start doing. If you just start telling people you also want to start investing in real estate, then people are going to, who also want to invest in real estate, basically reciprocate the message and say, hey, oh my gosh, that's crazy, because so do I. I want to do that as well, right? Just like the people that you've told, I want to get in shape, so I'm joining a gym, and somebody else says, oh my gosh, I just joined a gym. I want to get in shape too. We should work out together. Same concept, same idea. It's not as hard as people think. They overthink it. Just start sharing with others what it is that you want to do. And if you start sharing with others what it is that you want to do, you want to start investing in real estate, you want to start fixing and flipping houses, you want to start buying rental properties, eventually you might find the same person, you might find somebody who says, I want to do the same, right? Everybody that I tell that I, joined a gym because I want to get in shape, not everybody says, oh, me too, but there's been a couple, right? And from those couple, I've actually worked out with them now, and I have a workout partner. One. From those couple of people, one of them, right? Same kind of concept. So just start sharing with people that you want to start investing in real estate, and those types of people will start to come your way, as well as, again, like I said, head over to the Real Estate Investing Associations. All right, so hopefully this gives you a head start for those of you who are like, no, I'm seriously wanting to invest in some real estate. I got to change my life. I want to do that today. I want to make this happen right now. Then this might be the thing for you. We're gonna end this show right now. You're gonna jump onto Google and you are going to start searching these individuals. You're gonna start searching the Real Estate Investing Association I mentioned earlier on the show. Start finding out when we meet. And like I said, if you missed any part of the show, head to utahhomesweethome.com, scroll to the bottom, click on the YouTube channel, and you can watch this show again later. All right? So on that note, I hope you all have a spectacular rest of the day, and I will see you guys. Actually, we will talk again next week.
No